RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? I hope so. Thanks for hanging out. This is Tara Devlin. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. And it's also what we like to call therapy for the resistance. And damn it, don't we need that? I think so. I'm a little cold. That's why I'm wearing my jacket. Well, my sweater. Even it's very cold out, and my apartment is actually, let me see. Let me turn this off. My apartment is always hot. I don't have control over the heat. I'm usually sweating over here. Okay, guys, who cares, right? That's not important. Oh man. And I apologize for the delay. I announced that the show would be on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I was 20 minutes late. This is the nature of the beast. The fact is, I had so many technical problems for the past 2 days. I was going to make a video, blah, 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 and nothing was working. And I had all kinds of echo problems. In fact, I hope you can hear me now. I see Laura in the chat room. Hi there, Laura. I'm sure other people will show up soon. This is how it goes with the liberal media. Hey, we don't have the billionaire Mercer family buying us townhouses and, staffing the decline of the American experiment. I mean, it's really hanging by a thread. We're in big trouble. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're in the middle of a fascist coup. And it feels like the fascists are winning. I don't know, though. History has a way of surprising us sometimes. I know it's 10 months to the election. We are up against the wall at this point because of the basic B, Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. Now, and also they're enablers in the corporate media. They're not just being enabled by the billionaire class. They're being enabled by the corporate media, who are spreading the meme or the frame about. Well, first of all, the corporate media is really responsible for where we are right now. Prove me wrong. We talk about it every time we have a show. We are up against the ropes because it's really about the message. Now, this morning, I just wanted to talking personal and whatnot. For the last 2 days, like I said, I'm glad I'm glad Zenny on the chat. Thank you so much for telling me that the sound is fine, because for the last 2 days, I've been battling with the help of others a lot of technical problems, including the echo and not being able to record and all this, and I was really tearing up. I was on the verge of just walking away, and saying, okay, guys, you know what? I've had enough. But I can't do that because, we're in this together. But one of the people that helped, at least, well, it was baffling to Robyn too. Robyn Kincaid, we did a screen share, and she's a bit more technical than I am, and we were trying to figure it out, and it was, she wasn't able to figure it out either. That's how messed up it was. And we were discussing the frustrations of doing this, and this is a commitment. It's a financial loss for me. Everything costs. The restream costs. The eCam costs. Everything costs. The sound effects. The video capturing software. That I'm not, whatever. I'm doing it. You don't have to support the show, and people do. So thank you. But the fact is, we definitely need more people, and it costs to get to go on Upwork and get somebody to fix these problems, so we can have a show. And that's what happened. I had to call in somebody that knew what the hell they were doing. So it's, I mean, I know a little bit of what I'm doing as far as the technical part. We learn by, I mean, it's like when I was young, I had a really bad car. My brother had given it to me and it was always breaking down. So I learned a lot about engines and how to kick them to get them started. And oh, I mean, I'm talking about old engines. I used to have to put a screwdriver into the carburetor to start this car. So, okay. And anyway, it's a labor of love. It's also kind of a burden too, and because we cannot turn off in any way. And I encourage people to not turn away, because we're in big ass trouble, man. Am I being alarmist? I've been sounding this alarm for years. And really, the decline of the American experiment can be traced to the Telecommunications Act. Also, Reagan's doorstep, of course. But the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which Bill Clinton signed, gave us these silos of information that that assholes are falling down these rabbit holes and running around saying freedom when they're assaulting people who make shakes. I don't know if you saw that. There was a video of this guy that he got a shake from some store or whatever, and apparently he said, "No peanut butter, please, in the shake." Okay. So they didn't put peanut butter in the shake, but his kid or teenager had a peanut allergy and he had a reaction to it. It probably had peanuts on the stuff, on the things they use to cut the fruit or whatever. I don't know how they, you know what I'm saying, on the spoon, that blah blah blah. They probably had traces of peanut butter on it. He didn't say, my son has an allergy. He just said, please, no peanut butter. Okay? Right. I go in, I say, I don't like, whatever. No cilantro. It's not deadly unless you explain, I can't have this or I'm going to die or I'm going to have a reaction. And the guy went nuts. He came back and threw the shake at these kids, young kids, teenagers working making extra money in this kiss up, kick down horror show. And what did he do? Well, he went right to insulting them because he called them immigrants, basically. You immigrants. And they were like, what? I should probably show the video. I haven't. Let me find it. The shake asshole. I probably, if I look up shake asshole, it'll probably come up. Shake throne. Let's see. I'll just write immigrants. I'm sure it'll come right up. And there goes the camera again, of course. I said, like I said, it's on a sensor. When you feel like shit, it just goes. When you look like. Here we go. It's incredible. But the fact is, here's the other thing. I'll fix the camera in a second. Don't worry. I just gotta get it. You gotta. I really have to apologize. Whoops. Beep-ba-da-boo. There's going to be a lot of me fumbling around because everything was signed out and everything is just a pain in the ass right now. So let's see, webcam settings. I do this every fucking day. Why does it stop what I tell it to do? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Mika Brzezinski has to deal with this shit. Or a friggin' Joe Rogan. You want to know why we're swirling the bowl? There you go, guys. There you fucking go. Okay. Am I wrong? No. I was wrong once in 1973. I think it was. And I see your super chats. Thank you guys I'll thank you personally in a minute. Let's move this over. Where the fuck is the audio? It's nothing without audio. You gotta get the full effect. It's just traumatizing for these young people too.
You have no room to yell at us.
Come on, man. Sorry. Like I said, it's gonna be a little like this. Come on, play. You see what I'm dealing with?
He called Gianna an immigrant, and I'm recording it also.
Is that you?
No, it wasn't me.
We don't know who made it, so.
You don't know who made it?
There's 4 of us here, so we honestly don't know.
Stupid ignorant high school kid.
You stupid
bye.
immigrant.
Bye. Okay, you can call corporate whenever
he
you
called
want.
them
Bye.
stupid high school kids. The immigrant stuff is coming.
No, I don't care.
Give it to me right now.
What?
He threw it at her. This is the way you behave, right? As an adult.
I want the telephone number.
Gianna,
What's the number?
You
Can you believe this?
Bye. Okay, good for you. Bye.
I want the
Bye.
shut up.
You shut up. You're not gonna tell me to shut up. Who are you?
Wow.
Who are you?
Immigrant loser.
What? You. Get the
Immigrant.
out. Get the out. Get the out. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, you racist piece of.
He tried to go into the back, the employee-only area. The girl's leaning on the door because the asshole's trying to break in.
I don't give a what you want. Look it up if you want the telephone number.
What's the number? Look it up. Exactly.
Right now, if you want. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Right.
Jesus. This is what you gotta deal with in this country.
Respectfully, out of here. You're bugging.
go out the door.
You're bugging. Like, you're literally bugging.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
You're
My
bugging.
son is almost in the hospital.
Please come over.
Rosie,
Back Fairfield.
on Blackhawk Turnpike.
Jesus Christ. Look it up. He's asking for the, well, not asking, he's demanding the phone number for corporate.
Yeah, just look it up.
Look it up.
Telephone number.
Look it up. She's trying to break in the back. It's like
Give me your phone.
insane.
Give me your phone. Give me your phone.
Bye. You can get out of my door now.
Telephone number from there.
Gianna, give me your phone.
That's your way forever. Honestly, 'cause I really don't care.
He's waiting for management. He said after he threw a shake at the girls, the high school girls.
Does he say that?
Unbelievable. Oh, because they have darker pigment.
I'm sorry?
He can behave like this. They're nothing. He
Rosie,
can throw
somebody's in here
shakes
and
at
he's
them,
freaking cursing
call
us out.
them
And he
immigrants as if that's a
smoothie at us.
slur.
He's threatening us. He tried to come behind this door. We're calling the cops. He won't leave. He keeps screaming at us.
Can you believe this? This is how you got to. This is
He
your
ca-
summer job or your
you hear him?
after
He
school
called
job.
Gianna an
Look at her
immigrant.
back.
And I'm
covered
recording
in
it
the
also.
shake.
I'm calling the cops.
We'll see. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
He threw the smoothie at us. He's trying to jump
Sick,
over the thing. He's
sick
trying to threaten us.
Country.
Sorry?
Sick. This country is sick. It needs help. All right, shut up with that commercial. Live your best life. Yeah, okay. After that, no. We're trying. Unfortunately, we live in the least upwardly mobile of all the Western democracies. It's a little tough. Live our best life. I'd love to. I'd love to not have to spend time fighting fascism. Wouldn't that be fun? We could talk about, TV shows or cats or dogs or... Jesus Christ. But, the guy... Let me see. Let me go on Twitter here. Because the guy apparently released a statement. What's the guy's name? Shake Thrower, maybe? Let's see. Man. What's the guy's name? Let me find this. But it's incredible. Let me see. Who's in the chat? Thank you, Laura, for your super chat. And your very cute emoji. Hey, you. And thank you, JD, for your super chat, of course. In pounds, you lucky bastard. Hi, Tara and chatters. Trying to sneak a show past me? Yeah. I know, right? A Tuesday? I want to do shows, daily shows at a set time. The fact is, I'm only me, and I just don't have the time because of having to juggle other things that actually keep the lights on in Tarabuster Studios. I don't think, Joe Rogan doesn't have that problem. Am I bitter? Maybe. It's not bitterness. It's sadness, really. Not about my show in particular, just about the whole system, the way it's set up. I recently, we have a Tarabuster page for the show, and one of the Tarabuster, one of our friends and also supporters, Susan, who, Susan S., she told me that, and she posted it on the page, that she was trying to find Tarabuster. And, first she was trying to post on the Tarabuster Facebook page, and she got messages warning her from Facebook that Tarabuster was in violation of community standards. Okay, so you think they're pushing the liberal media down? Of course they are. This is what they do. In the algorithm, somehow they've set up the algorithm to trigger, I guess, when liberal content is there. And also, personally, when I'm on Twitter, and I think it's been reported about Twitter actually amplifying right-wing voices. I experienced this on my own account. To me, it's baffling why every time I log into Twitter, the first tweets that come up in my queue are from right-wingers. There's some story about, Biden, and all of the suggestions, I guess, are from right wingers. And some of these accounts, they're not the more, I guess, well-known accounts. These are like just people with 100 followers and stuff. I get to see all of their assaults, really, and their ignorance. And you can't tell me that this isn't on purpose. Why would my feed be populated with right-wing morons, right? But I'm not looking for them. I'm not searching this content, but here it is. And that's why we're swirling the ball too. We are so misinformed. This country is so goddamn misinformed. And the Republicans are doing everything they can to ensure that it remains that way. And in fact, it's worse. We know that. And that's why I called the show, if we can't say gay, can we say fascism? Because that's what it is. How anybody votes for these filthy fascists is beyond reason to me. It's baffling. It's as baffling as, not even. I understand that this is it's all connected. The racism. When Trump was so-called elected despite receiving fewer votes, I was one of the normal people in this country that were incredibly depressed by it. And the depression was the realization, it was triggered by the realization that I am living in a country with a lot of racist assholes. They're not the majority, but they have entirely too much voice. Why? Okay, hold on. Son of a bitch. Some fucking... Here we go. Shut up. I hate that. I hate when they do that. They do that on purpose. All of a sudden, something will start playing. It's really annoying. Did I ask you to play? It's sort of like, did I ask you to populate my Twitter feed with right-wing assholes who have 100 followers and no clue? Come on. You would think that they would suggest things that I'm interested in, but they don't. And why are they tagging the content on the Tarabuster Facebook page as in violation of community standards? That's the warning that she got when she tried to post a comment on the feed. This is in violation of community standards. It's unbelievable to me. And how do you fight that? As somebody like me, who's trying to get a goddamn show out in spite of everything. You know what I mean? I don't have time. I don't have the resources to fight that shit. They do it on purpose because and now I'm glad everybody, when you watch the show, we talk about me. I have a master's degree in communications. I studied this shit in college, and it's for real. Now, for example, when I was watching, we'll just break this down, Morning Joe. They were doing a story about Kristen Sinema, the framing of the corporate media of Kristen Sinema's assault against democracy by rescuing the filibuster from democracy. I guess the perils of an actual democracy breaking out. They're framing her as a maverick. They're actually saying that she's doing her own thing. She's bucking her party. And then they go to, they said they talked about her being censured. And then they made the comparison of both sides. You know, Kristen Sinema was censored by the Democratic Party for this bullshit that she pulled. And in the past, the Republicans have censured their members for voting against and for voting for impeachment, as if they're the same. We're in a coup. One basic bee, she is enabling the coup. The others were censured for trying to save democracy. So all of the rescue efforts for democracy are being thwarted by these scumbags, and the corporate media is just lulling the morons back to sleep. And it's not even, I feel bad saying morons, because a lot of people are they're not morons. They're overworked and underpaid, and they're working their 3 uniquely American low-paying jobs, and in between they might pass a television while they're doing their Uber on the weekend, or they hear something on the radio about Kristen Sinema is saving bipartisanship in the Senate. That's how it's being friggin' portrayed. And then, which is bullshit, because it doesn't tell the whole story, and it doesn't give any background about anything. The Voting Rights Act, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be in this situation if not for John Roberts blowing up the Voting Rights Act when nobody asked him to. Nobody said, we got to get rid of this. In fact, it was non-controversial. We know that. 100% of the filthy fascists, but the budding fascists back in the day, they voted for it. They touted it. They were proud of it. They had signing ceremonies with bipartisans. And the corporate media doesn't talk about how we want bipartisan. So Kristen Sinema is supposedly saving bipartisanship in the Senate. Bullshit, of course. While all over the country, these bills, these Republican anti-American assaults on democracy are being passed on strict partisan lines. So there's no background there either. And that's why the American people are dumb. There's no complex thinking. There's no connecting the dots. And then they let's go to the tape, of course. Let's go to the interviewing, the man on the street bullshit. And I interviewed some Republicans, and here's what they said about cinema. And we had one man. He says, "I like her. She's a real maverick." And he said, "I am not for partisans counting the votes of any party." So clearly the guy was watching Fox News. He's a Fox News victim. And that's what they're framing her bullshit as. She's not saving bipartisanship. It's not about ensuring a nonpartisan vote count. That's not what she did. She ensured that the Republicans can continue installing partisan hacks in positions of authority where they can certify the votes or not. Not a nonpartisan commission. That's what we're trying to goddamn do. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where's Haiku? He's not in the chat. I have to keep my eye on this. Why do we always get Russians in the chat? I wonder. What's that about? Are we see, you know what it's about? I don't know about this person. What they continuously send. This is what they do. They are flooding social media, and they're not. They're savvy enough to understand that they flood the zone everywhere. You know, they need the autocratic messaging, and whatever. If democracy, somebody who's pro-democracy, like this show, actual multiracial democratic republic, that's what we were promised. God damn it. That's what I took an oath, like so many others, to protect and defend. I didn't wear that effing uniform so some effing con man can destroy the place with the help of one political party. No way. That's why it's just offensive to me, really, and angering, of course, on top of all the other anger issues I have. And it really makes me cry, really, when you guys know I take care, whatever. I go to Calvary Cemetery, which is near my house, and I literally cry in front of these graves of young people, like our millennial correspondent, Mark, who has a show, his own show, Shaping Progress. It makes me weep for these men, the young people. I mean, some of them were boys. Never had sex, never had all of the fruits of life that makes life worth living, and then they're dead on the beaches of Normandy. You know, it's just, it's offensive to me that these filthy fascists are spitting in their face, too. Their sacrifice. Jesus Christ. But, you know, what do? You see the corporate media, because it's absolutely lazy. That's what it is. It's completely lazy. It's easy to do a poll. It's easy to take the man on the street. But the other thing, if I really want to be nefarious, you guys know I work in television. I know some of these people. There's no, I don't know. There's not open, at least not to me. I'm not in the high executive offices, so they're not trying. People are just trying to get through the day, really, and do their stories and whatnot. But it's certainly not journalism. I don't know. To me, the people are stupid. We're dumb. We're dumb. We vote against our own demise. The entire, well, I don't, you don't, but the entire system is set up for corruption. We have legal bribes built right in the system, and that's the root of all evil. They never connect those dots. I mean, the legal bribes built into the system can be connected to everything that we're talking about, including, of course, the corporate media. Now, the corporate media, you better believe it. They love the both sides bullshit because they profit with these political ads. And that's really how they make the bulk of their money during the year. These giant, by all the purchases that that political ads, the candidates make, and it's not healthy in general. That's not healthy. The negativity, the lies especially of Republicans, and the corporate media taking these Republican talking points at face value and just repeating them without context or correction. And here we are. So to have this man say, I like Kristen Sinema because she's a maverick protecting bipartisanship. Honey, it's a little bit more complex than that. And it's not both sides. Oh, the other thing is they're saying how popular now she is in Arizona because the Republicans like her too now because they have been misinformed. I told you one time, there's somebody wrote on the channel, I am a Republican. I've been a Republican. Well, he said Republican, but I've been a Republican my whole life, and I do not have a fascist bone in my body. I've never had a fascist thought. I am not a he went, I never had a fascist thought. I never had a fascist action. I never had like he was just saying, I'm not a fascist. But honey, if you vote for a fascist, you're a fascist. You know, I mean, that's what they thought about Hitler, some of the good Germans, right? They thought, well, all that anti-Semitic stuff, that's just politics, right? That'll fall by the wayside. Please, my God. Wait, we were talking about the guy with the shake. Hold on a second. Shake guy. My shake. I think he got fired. I mean, this is why, honey, don't act like that. Don't act like a dumbass. Man threw a shake and yelled racist comments. Lawyer, because he released a statement. What's the guy's name? Hold on, let me find his name. That's probably how I will find it. A Fairfield man was seen, where the heck is it? Yelling racist remarks. And then, shut up with that head. Seen in a now viral video throwing a drink at employees of a local smoothie shop and yelling racist comments, has been fired by his employer. He apologized for his actions after being arrested. Well, that's how you want to spend your day, right? You go to a shake shop and you act like an asshole and then you're arrested. The video, recorded by an employee at Robex, located at whatever, who cares, went viral. It showed a man confronting employees and yelling at them. In the video, he demanded to know who made the smoothie, and when the employees couldn't tell him, he became mad, yelling at the employees and using expletives. At one point, he's seen throwing a drink at an employee. He can also be heard making comments referencing their immigration status, because he's totally not racist. That's what he said. And, his name is James Iannazzo, 48, of Fairfield. Let me show you his face. Oh, that's not it. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of patience watching me fumble around. The man, here he is. That's 48. That's what 48 looks like, guys. For real? I'm older than this guy. Like, by a few years. That's 48? Wow. You see what I'm saying? That's what That's what hate does to you. It's ugly. It ages you. It makes you look like that. I feel bad. I'm sorry. It's not about. I'm just saying you don't look healthy. Wow. Oh, whoa. Am I being mean? I don't think so. I mean, you guys will tell me. It's not I'm not mocking him. I'm just saying he like looks every year of his life plus 10. So the video taken by one of the employees was posted on TikTok and went viral. Police said they received numerous calls from employees. The employee said the customer's throwing things, of course. They said about an hour and 15 minutes earlier, this guy, Ian Zano, purchased a drink and then left the store without incident. Sometime later, he came back and blah, 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 had a fit. Okay. I returned to Robex. This is his statement. According to police, Ian Zano returned to the smoothie shop and the incident escalated after making his demands. He claimed that the smoothie contained peanuts, causing his allergic reaction. His child, whatever. I had returned to Robex to determine what ingredients were in the smoothie I had previously ordered. Oh, shut up with that ad. Go on and live your best life. Shut the fuck up. I want to live my best life without you screaming it in my ear every 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Let's see, he says, I made my regrettable comments because my 17-year-old son was taken to the hospital suffering from life-threatening anaphylactic shock. I would double-check that. You know what I mean? I really would. I would double-check that, journalist, but we don't have any journalists because I'm a little skeptical of everything that comes out of the Republican mouth. Because they're liars and they don't know how to behave. So, in my opinion, I could be wrong. If your son is hanging on life, he's hanging on for dear life at the hospital, you're gonna go to the Shake Shack and throw shakes at people? That's what you do while your son is in an emergency situation? Am I wrong? I don't know. It seems a little suspect to me, but that's Republicans. See, they act like this. They're like, fuck your feelings, right? They're free. They're free to throw shakes and throw insults at people. Well, perceived insults. Because what the hell is so insulting about being called an immigrant? What's so wrong with that? Republicans, this is a nation of immigrants. I suggest if you are so triggered by the very foundational principles that this country was built on, that you go back to where you effing came from. You know, you might be more comfortable with a bunch. I guess you just want white people around you, stupid white people who have intellectual curiosity and look 20 years older than they are because they're so filled with hate. That's what it is. Yeah, I got anger issues. Of course I do, but I go to therapy. I've been in therapy my whole fucking life. That's a whole other story. It wasn't easy for me, and it still isn't. Because I live in this country. So, yeah, it would be a lot easier, I think, if I lived in a country that wasn't so sick. I feel I'm not as sick as the country, really. I got issues, and my issues are I can't stand the cruelty. I don't want to live in a place surrounded by ignorant morons. Like all of them. Just throw a friggin' rock. They're all you'll hit one. You'll hit a moron. You'll hit a monster in the Republican Party. You know, take your pick. It's like it's an embarrassment of moron riches. Prove me wrong. Give me a Republican. Give me an example of one of their intellectuals. Who's that? I mean, look at, I guess they would say Newt Gingrich, who's calling for the January 6th committee to be arrested because that's where we are in fascism. It's not the fringes anymore. It's in the Republican mainstream. And it's infecting this country. It might be too late. I have no idea. More will be revealed. He says, I made regrettable comments because my 17-year-old son was taken to the hospital suffering from life-threatening anaphylactic shock. So why aren't you by his bedside? And what if he dies? You want to be at the Shake fucking Shack throwing insults? Perceived insults? Well, they're perceived insults in your racist bubble. This is what's so annoying about Democrats, to tell you the truth. Why? Why am I connecting that to the Democrats? Because they never respond to the fact that these people are not patriotic. If you're yelling insults, you're calling somebody an immigrant and thinking that's an insult. You're not a patriot. You're sick. Somewhere along the line, you've been misled, misguided, and you're a moron who hates America. It really comes down to that. If you hate the very essence of what we are, then you're not a patriot. That's why, I mean, come on. I've been saying for years that in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. Here we are. They hate the essence of the American experiment, so they're turning it into their essence. You see? They can't help it. They are the domestic enemies the founders warned us about, and they attack the pillars of democracy. And this is why I'm so sick of Democrats for not calling them out. Of course they won't. The Democrats, the crop of Dems that are in leadership, are from the old school. They need to go too. They're still operating under some friggin' delusion that if they're nicer to the Republicans, then maybe they'll all of a sudden act like they want to live in a democratic republic. All of a sudden they'll play nice. They won't, because they don't have time to play nice. They don't have the maturity to play nice. They want to rob, steal, and divide this country. Every fissure of disunity. Why doesn't Joe Biden start bringing out the Democrats in history, like Henry Wallace, like FDR? Start channeling. We're sick of the divided country. When they start exploiting the fissures of disunity, you call them out. Because here's the thing. What Joe Biden's doing is trying to again and again and again appeal to these right-wingers. As if that somehow makes him a unifier. Give me a break. We will unify the country around democracy. If you don't like that, you're going to have to fall by the wayside. I don't care if you have an R after your name. And that's how Joe Biden should approach it. It's sickening. You see the tactics. You see the game. The corporate media starts attacking Joe Biden, saying, why aren't you said you would unify the country? Well, I'm unifying the country around democracy. If you're not on board with that, there's nothing I can do. And it does seem like a large majority of the Republican Party is not unified around democracy. So we're going to unify with the majority. And we're going to have a democracy, whether they like it or not. They're a lost cause. You got the ones who are salvageable are already out of that shithole. with they're worshiping the friggin' Mar-a-Lago Mussolini. Can you believe what they've done? They know he's a filthy fascist liar, and he's not man enough to concede. And so they've built this fiction around a con man. They're such disgusting lickspittles with absolutely no courage. They don't, and God damn it, Dems, call them out. They're talking about, of course, the corporate media is talking about how it's going to be a shellacking in 10 months. Well, isn't that wonderful? Democracy's going to effing die in 10 months. Corporate media, ain't that great? So why are you reporting this? Is this the Miss Cleo election? Call me now. I'll tell you who wins in 10 months. After gerrymandering and voter suppression and who counts the votes. I mean, they talk about first of all, they don't even talk about what's in the bills that the Republicans are passing on a strict partisan basis that nobody asked them to. The only reason they could do it is because of John Roberts shitting on the Voting Rights Act. That Martin Luther King, they love to take his quotes out of context. Oh, why don't we judge on the content of our character? Well, if you had some fucking character, Republicans, I'd like to judge you on it. Jesus Christ. But they never put it in context as far as the Democrats are concerned. Trying to appeal to a snake to walk on two legs. It's not going to happen. Oh. Am I right? It sucks to be right, that's for sure. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong about this, but I'm not. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, and it's only... Oh, Jesus Christ, it's only 8:30. We're going to have Thomas Reynolds is going to call in again to help us with the conversation. Help move the conversation. I'm going to do better. All right? He's going to help me not interrupt so much and go on a Tarabuster. But before we get Thomas in here, I'm going to let me just finish with this Sheikh asshole. So he says, you're talking about my son's life-threatening anaphylactic shock, where I was so worried that I drove back to the Shake Shack to throw some shakes and racist slurs at teenagers, because that's what a man does in the United States of serfs and lords. That's what a white man does, who looks about 20 years older than he is. Okay, he collapsed at our home while drinking the smoothie. So why didn't you tell them? My son has life-threatening anaphylactic allergies. He cannot have peanut butter. Don't say, hold the peanut butter. Who the fuck knows? Then it could have been anything. I had a friend, we went to a bagel store. She had a peanut allergy. She always had to carry that thing that they have to hit, the needle. And she was like, holy shit. She started having a reaction. That's why she has to carry that thing. The EpiPen, yes. And she recovered after, but she said there must have been some peanut residue on one of the knives that they used to cut the bagel. That's how sensitive she was. And if that's the case with this asshole, which it's always suspect when a Republican says that they're afraid. Just like the cops, right? When I was scared, so I had to jump on the hood of the car and shoot into the window at unarmed human beings 33 times, right? That's a story. That's a real story. So That's what they do. I was afraid. So he was afraid. So let me ask you, if this kid was so susceptible to anaphylactic shock, why don't they have any EpiPens? He collapsed at your home and you had to take him to the emergency room? It doesn't ring true to me. Does it ring true to you? Because if that's the case, you have to take your son to the emergency room with life-threatening allergy attack. You're going to make a pit stop at the shake store to throw some shakes at people and slurs? I don't know. If he had a nut allergy, where's the EpiPen? What? I don't know. Okay. Just, yeah, it would be good for some journalism, but I don't know. So he says that the drink contained some sort of nut product after I had advised him of his nut allergy. And, of course, they say he only said no peanut, or hold the peanut butter, because that was one of the ingredients of the shake he ordered. So why are you ordering a shake with peanut butter? Anyway, okay. Or that has peanut butter, that has to have peanut butter removed. It doesn't feel real to me. And it just feels like another whiny, racist asshole taking out his frustrations on immigrants, or so he thinks. People with darker pigment, because he thinks he's above the law. He can get away with it. Why don't you take your frustrations out on the people who deserve it? Like the assholes like Trump and the billionaires and all the fucking enablers in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party corporate wing, who funnel money into the arms of the rich and turn this country from the most to the least upwardly mobile with the widest income gap. And while you feel that squeeze, they continue to beat the drum that the problem is because immigrants. Somebody lower on the ladder. So don't look up, kick down. Like the movie, Don't Look Up. Well, that's another version of them not looking up. Don't look up. Don't look up at the billionaires who are literally jerking off in space and laughing all the way to the bank. Oh, well, they have to do a press conference about how big the blue marble is and how much we would all benefit from knowing that we're connected. Well, I knew that in Zygote. God damn it. What took Jeff Bezos so long? He had to build a big dick to ride into space? Well, he still doesn't display this spiritual awakening. It doesn't put it in your actions. You got that's what I was always taught when I got clean and I'm in recovery. It's your actions. It's not your thoughts. It's your goddamn actions. Wonderful. You love the big blue marble. How about you stop lobbying your puppets in Washington so you can just ride us all to the bank, ride our socialist roads, use our socialist infrastructure, and our human beings. They like to call it the human capital, because we're nothing but pawns to be discarded. So, pay them a living wage. It wasn't before until Bernie and the movement for $15 an hour. It should be friggin' $30. Why don't you make it $30 an hour? Do you need the extra 100 fucking billion one man made in this pandemic? Does he need that 100 fucking billion dollars? One man. And this asshole goes and throws a shake at people because I get it. He's frustrated in life. Who knows? And we know that all over the country, death by despair is going through the roof, and that includes suicide and drug overdoses, all these things, alcoholism, things that These are the symptoms of the broken-ass country, the broken-ass society. You're on your own. And these assholes are the ones that are perpetrating it and perpetuating it. They're dumb. They're friggin' useless idiots. Okay, let me just finish this up. So, he says, okay, Ian Zano said his son lost capacity to breathe after starting to drink the smoothie, collapsed in the bathroom, and required 2 doses from an EpiPen. Okay, they had one, supposedly, before the responders arrived. First of all, I doubt it. I don't know. I don't believe them, but whatever. Thank God he's doing okay. I'd like to thank my wife and the first responders who saved his life. Bullshit. Okay? This is the worst nightmare of every parent. Well, why weren't you careful? I don't know. It's everybody else's problem, right? It wasn't your fault. Employees told Ian Zano to leave multiple times, but he remained inside the shop and continued to yell insults. Police said the man attempted to open a locked door that led to the employees' only area. And they were leaning on the door. Get the fuck out. Police said Ian Zano left the store before police arrived, and then he was identified. Oh, whatever. He says, I was out of my mind with fear. Yeah, you were afraid. Well, what did you do to the teenagers? You know, they just had their shift at the shake shop, and they have to deal with you. Fucking baboon. Going around there, screaming, throwing. Well, you were afraid? What about them? It's their world. We live in it. Ian Zano was arrested, charged with intimidation based on bigotry or bias in the 2nd degree, breach of peace in the 2nd degree, and criminal trespass in the 1st degree. Good. So the attorney, this is what I want to say, Frank Riccio II, released a statement. There was one before, saying his client. Here's the kicker. It is like a caricature of life. These guys, you know, they are like an Andy Kaufman performance art, nonstop. Attorney for Ian Zano said, he released a statement saying his client is not racist. Unbelievable. He's not racist and regrets his statement and actions during a moment of extreme emotional stress. Because that's what they were taught. Republicans do this. They inflict their manias on society. They never, ever look at themselves. They're the perfect beings. They're the salt of the earth who walk among us. They're the top of the food chain. The cis, straight, white male. They get to walk around and do whatever the hell they want because they're frustrated about life, and they think people, I guess the young teenagers who have darker pigment are the cause. If you're not a racist, why do you go to racist statements immediately? That's the baffling part. You can look at me, I wish we had a time machine to go back in time when I was really fucked up, when I was using, and see some of the episodes of anger that I had. I flipped a table in a pizzeria once because they didn't give me change of $1. All right, I was like, cuckoo. I was also fucking in pain, of course, but I needed help. And that's another story. My God, getting it in this country that was one of the battles. Goddamn, I'm lucky to have survived up until this point, and survived back then. Just trying to get help because I didn't have insurance. You can't get help. So the country and the world, they're just, what am I talking? Not the world. The country has to live in a in a community, in a society, where people who are sick don't get the help they need, even when they're asking for it and searching for it. Oh my, it's true. Well, I told you the story about that episode of Monster in my family I saw. This is another thing that drives me crazy. And there was a story about some serial killer, and he and his sister, and the sister was being interviewed, and she said, I know that this guy's been put to death. He killed many people. And the sister said, I know that he did these horrible things and he deserved what he got. But he was of course, he's a monster to the world. But to me, he was my protector. Because they had grown up in an abusive home and just abhorrent abuse. And when this young budding serial killer was older, and the sister was older, and they were very close, she said, he came to her and said, I'm sick. I need help. I have violent thoughts. I'm gonna hurt somebody. I feel it. I know it. I need help. And they took him to hospitals, and he wasn't able to get help because he didn't have insurance. So she said, well, that was the kind of the last straw with him. He figured, fuck it, I'll just do whatever the fuck I want. And now he killed people. I'm not saying, of course, that's a very sick person, but it's almost heartbreaking all around. It's heartbreaking for this country, because this is what we allow. And I've been explaining this for years. We're in this together. As far as health care, when people don't get health care, we all suffer. When we can't get the help we need, because we have to live out here, God damn it. Anyway, yeah, but the guy's not racist, so that's good news, right? He says he's totally not racist, just like all the Republicans who are totally not racist, except they're doing everything they can to ensure that people of darker pigment can vote, and people who, specifically traditionally vote Democratic. It's unreal. And the corporate media enables it. It's really true. Prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. All right, let me see if Thomas is around. Hold on. Hold on. He wants the fucking number again. I don't know how many times I gotta give the number to people. You see, the sigh. That's like anger. That's what I learned in therapy. Send me the number again. Okay, I'll send it to you for the 50,000th time. Because I'm not doing a live show or anything. That's okay. It's a one-man band. Not that I'm bitter. Oh, shit. I just shut the program. Hold on. No, I'm bitter. No, I am. See, here we go. I have to find it because of everything that happened today. What's the fucking number? Well, why don't you just call in on the goddamn just regular line instead of the guest line? Let's see. You pain in the ass. I'm only kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. See, everything's signed out. That's the problem. On top of everything else that sucks. I had to spend the last 2 days, instead of doing everything I wanted to do and needed to do, I had to battle the computer. I don't know. And so I can say, please become a patron. If you don't want to fucking become a patron, don't become a patron. That's where I'm at. Don't become a patron. Don't fucking support the liberal media. Oh, well. And when we get down to nothing, when they finally shut us down, I could say I did what I could. Because that's coming too. That's what they thought in Turkey, in Erdogan, when they... what about that guy? The guy who they sent the planes up, the jet planes, to stop from leaving the country. They took him. They tortured him. He's a journalist, podcaster, reporting the truth from the ground and from the perspective of the resistance. And they beat the shit out of him. They tortured him. And then he said, okay, I'm out. You got me. I'm not doing it anymore. Don't worry. That's what will happen. They may, I don't know. Will they come and beat the shit out of me? Maybe. I don't know what it'll be. It could be other things like Facebook shutting us down again and shit like that, like they did to Republican dirty tricks. And they, labeling the content on Tarabuster against community standards for some reason. But Joe Rogan and all the assholes, Steve Bannon still has a show. I don't know, man. Jesus Christ. Right? Fucking unbelievable. You see, I could also be watching some stupid something, a comedy or something, rather than doing the show. I might get to that point. I'm really kind of up to, I would say up to here at this point. And I have wondered if I would be happier simply ignoring everything and just shutting Tarabuster down and saying, you know what? I tried. Hold on a second. The fuck, man? Send me the number. Well, why don't you look in the fucking history of the texts? I must have sent it 1,000 times. I don't know if Thomas is listening. He's probably mad at me right now. But he knows me well enough to know my crankiness. Right? Oh, fuck. Hold on a second. I wish I had do I have something to play while I'm looking for this fucking number? The guest number? Why am I bothering? Oh, look, my remote control is 2% battery and they're warning me. I need to calm down. I mean, who wants to support this show anyway, right? Because this is what you get. Well, is that, I mean, what are you going to do? Here, I'll show you this just to annoy you.
Of course, if the fake news did a poll, they're called suppression polls. You know, polls are fake just like everything else. If the fake
polls
news
are
did
fake,
a poll,
just like everything else.
it would show that I'm only getting 25% with the 401k people, even though they're up 44%. No, we're doing well. We're doing well, and I'm happy you're doing well. They just came out with a poll.
You're happy? You're doing well?
The most popular person in the history of the Republican Party is Trump. Can you believe that?
I can't. Honestly, I can't. Blacks for Trump. Oh, watch. It gets better. And I mean, by better, I mean it gets worse.
So I said, does that include Honest Abe Lincoln? You know, he was pretty good, right? Remember I said, when I'd be a little bit wild and would have a lot of fun, they'd say, he's not acting presidential. And I'd say, well, it's a lot easier to act presidential than to do what I do. Anybody can act
do what you do?
Presidential.
Like shit your pants? Can you fucking believe this? This ignorant Neanderthal insulting the United States. Never stopped. It never stopped. Hating America is the Republican
Ladies
baseline.
and
That's it.
gentlemen
That's their
of the state of Florida, thank you very
oh,
much for
God.
being here.
That's their platform.
You
Hating
are
America.
tremendous people. And I will leave now.
See, that's
because
their fucking
I
hero
am boring
right
you
there.
to death. Thank you.
Boring you to death. I have to call people fat pigs. That's the political discourse that Republicans are calling for. Call somebody fat, call somebody a slut,
No, but
say I would
said
never fuck her, I would never
I
rape
used to
her
tell them
because
all
she's,
the time,
look at her.
the fake news. I'd say,
The
I can
fake
be
news.
more presidential than any president in history, except for
You
possibly
piss-
Abe Lincoln with a big hat. I don't know.
You're a piece
Abe
of...
looked pretty presidential, right? What do you think? He's tough.
I don't even want to
He's
insult
tough.
dirt. I don't want to
admit it,
insult
Abe Lincoln
excrement.
is tough.
You,
Oh,
tough?
we love Abe Lincoln.
No, you hate Abe Lincoln, and he hates you. And everybody else in your filthy,
One of these
enabling
guys, when that poll
fascist
came out,
excuse
most
for a
popular,
party.
and it was
Oh,
in the 90s.
the polls. I can't help it. You love me? You love me? I mean, how fucking pathetic are the Republicans? And why is there music in my ears now? Again. Oh my God. You see what I'm up against? This is why. I want to just say, bye. Sorry, guys. Sorry. You know, I tried. I've been saying, please become a patron for fucking year now. We still have up and down and up and down. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Do I know? I'm sorry. I know that was going to be hard on everyone. But there you go. It's just a reminder of how disgusting the Republicans are, how disgusting the corporate media are, and how much we are really swirling the bowl because it's coming from all sides. The stupidity, the ignorance, the lack of education. There's no. Ask any of these assholes, what is the founding? I mean, everything about this country, the founding of this country. They know nothing about. They know nothing about the vaccine mandate that created America, when vaccines were administered by slicing people's arms with an infected knife. These pricks. Now they're talking about freedom. Youngkin, for example, now he's a he's supposed to be one of the normal ones. I heard from the corporate media. Sometimes words just can't come out of my mouth. I can't even deal. And he's supposed to be one of the normal ones who didn't hug and hump Trump's friggin' smaller than average Mario Kart looking penis. He ran. He held him at arm's length and promised to be a uniter, not a divider, and all that bullshit that Republicans always spin. But Youngkin, of course, the minute he got power, he turned into Trump 2, started passing all these divisive executive orders, saying, and here's an example. One of the things that this filthy fascist said, hold on, I'm logged out again. Unreal. I have to do this all the time now? Log in again, everything? That's what I mean. Maybe I'll have a heart attack on air one day. That'll be fun. Or an aneurysm, more likely. So, Youngkin, his statement about, hold on, fuck this. I can't even apologize at this point. So the school boards are suing to stop Governor Youngkin's mask optional mandate because the Republicans want to kill people. That's all right. I'm okay when they're killing themselves. That's fine. Kill your own. But they don't want to do that. Then they whine. They don't want to take a vaccine. They don't don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. And Youngkin, his statement. Wait, hold on. I see you there, Thomas. Fuck this. Hold on. I know. Whatever. I can't. It is what it is. You get what you pay for, I guess, right? Whatever. I guess you can sense my angst here. Because if this happens, if I end up just pulling the plug on the show, I'm fucking out of here. I really am. I think, I don't know. It's not even. Youngkin's, well, whatever. He released a statement saying that I don't think parents should be telling schools what they think and what they should teach. And he also said it's disappointing that the school board is undermining the will of the parents or whatever. But you notice that it's just yet another example of Republicans never missing an opportunity to divide the American people. That's what that statement's about. Division. Turning people against each other. Turning the school board members, well, it's really turning the parents against the school board members because Youngkin loves divisiveness. He wants more parents to show up at the school board and with guns, and he doesn't give a shit about parents. He cares about Trumpanzees. He cares about the division because it's not. There are just as many and more parents who want their children safe. They don't. I mean, 1 million people. What is it? Wait. 1 million. Wait. It's 1 million kids are infected, if I'm not wrong. Hold on. Let me just look this up. I heard this in the millions of things I'm hearing. Let me check. Yeah, that's it. I was right. Nearly 1 million pediatric COVID cases reported last week. 1 million kids. But it's okay. It's not his kid. He wants the American people to die. Well, he wants us to fight. That's it. He wants morons to disrupt meetings because it makes good videos and it triggers people. It gets them upset. And we need we need people in their camps. We need this kind of bullshit behavior. We need assholes throwing shakes and screaming immigrant as an insult. And we need the Trumpanzee parents to think that they're on the right side of history somehow, when they're not. Not only are they on the wrong side of history, they're fucking tedious as hell. But then we have Democrats who are correct and right and have to be polite, and they have to consider the ravings and rantings of morons as if it's on par with everyone else. The ravings and rantings of people who just want to live. They don't want to kill the rest of their community. They give a shit about their country and community. That's what it's about. All right. Thomas is on the phone. Hold on. Thomas Reynolds, FYINation.
Hey, Tara.
How you doing?
How are you? I'm doing.
What's going on?
I'm hating technology right along with you.
Oh, good. No, I mean, not good. I'm just saying, I feel you.
I know how you feel. I've been dealing with servers crashing and everything else, and and the first thing I do to look up on the news, because I haven't been informed, I go to the Drudge Report.
Oh no!
And there's this big headline about Biden and the vax. I know you were kind of talking this on the local level, but the Biden vax thing got pulled. The Biden administration pulled the vax.
The vax?
Thing.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
The let's see. Let me get my thoughts straight.
Yeah.
They had the where they put it in the OSHA, the rules for the OSHA.
Yeah.
To make it all where you had so many people over 100, where you had that rule. Well, apparently they've decided to pull it, and it's a huge headline on the right-wing media now.
Well,
because this is another way. This is another way they can beat up on Biden.
Oh yeah.
When they got nothing.
Well, it's like somehow Biden loses and they win when it's. I mean, just get COVID already and die. Leave us alone. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. The snowflakes, the monster, and Biden's. What happened, if correct, is that Biden. See, it's in the courts now, and this Trumpanzee judge or right-wing judge said that it was overstepping. Biden was overstepping the office of the president, his powers, with this fucking mandate. And that is bullshit. We know that. There are mandates going back to the founding of the country, before the founding of the country. And we just talked about it 5 minutes ago. George Washington mandated a vaccine when that required being cut with an infected knife. And people died. They did. Everybody got sick. And some people actually died. But there were no tyranny, because it was also, they were fighting for freedom and a republic. So, that's... that's when you actually gave a damn, Tara, about the republic and freedom. Right. And people weren't so petty about their arguments, is what I keep going back to. I'm trying to figure out how to, I want to do this morning show, which I'm delaying until the 1st because of my own technical issues. And I want to make sure everything's right for it, or at least as right as possible. Right. Operator error, at least only. But that being said, I'm trying to figure out what tone to be. It's, do I go on the funny side? Do I go on the serious side? I don't want to come across like Alex Jones or going back on the left. You know what I mean? And it's so tough right now for, even good progressives like you, because we're just getting attacked for the most ridiculous stuff. And because they have nothing. They have no arguments. And it goes back to what you were saying with them. They just want people to die. Yeah, and they want us to be divided. That's what I look at it as. It's really, the death is incidental. They've never given a shit about people, whether they live or die. So, fine. They see this, how the Republicans are triggered, and they just jump in to tickle the fissures of disunity and exploit them and widen them. Yes, and I was just going to add, you're exactly right. They exploit them and they fundraise off of their fear. They go and, like this Tucker Carlson, the transgender M&M all of a sudden. It's like, come the fuck on. Right. Are you kidding me? He's talking about, first he's praising Putin and saying that he doesn't understand why we would side with Ukraine. I mean, this piece of shit. I'm sorry. He is. I don't know a single person. I mean, the whole right wing, but the damage he's doing and has done. I don't know how I'm saying it correctly, but that the damage he's done to this country is incalculable at this point. He is. But come on. He's horrible. Tara, he's just asking questions, though. Tara. Right. That's all he's doing. Why? He's just asking questions. Right. The way he phrases things, exactly, to give himself plausible deniability, Why would they do that? Well, I mean, he's the one who beats this stupid false flag narrative. And, I mean, he's a traitor. He's a fucking traitor, Tucker Carlson. He is. Well, he knows that it's a big lie. He's spreading the big lie. And not only that, he's giving these assholes more to chew on, more conspiracy theories to run with and use to justify their next assault on democracy, which is coming. There will be blood. There will be violence, because that's all that these dead-enders are capable of at this point. They don't have a policy. Their policy is fucking fascism. And I'm sick of the corporate media. For giving them, free reign.
No, and you're right. They're not only giving them aid and comfort to the enemy, as I'm sure you were going to say, and I just cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
They glorify people like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Right.
He's a fucking murderer.
Right. Oh,
and
my God.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know what else to call him.
Yeah, he is.
I don't, I see it on TikTok. And these fanboy videos of him and
really?
everything else. And I'm like,
God.
come on. Yeah. I mean, it's sick.
It is sick.
And this is where we're headed, and it really drives me nuts. And that's why I'm glad we at least have some progressives out there who are willing to fight the good fight and call it out when it needs to be called out. And we have to do that because nobody else is. Trucker Crossland is fucking gonna. And, what are we going to do? Ask John Hannity for aid and comfort?
No. These people they're the problem. They're part of the problem. It's the media is ground zero of this divide and conquered dumbass country. Because I don't know if you saw, I was watching Morning Joe, as I do, and... And was I talking about this with you? I think I was talking with Robyn about this. Sure. But there was this is another thing. I'm losing it now. Maybe I was talking about this earlier now. But they were talking about, so she's in Poland or something, doing her, so they're doing remote with her. And so here's the stories. She does a story about monkeys escaping out of a truck that was, this is a whole other story for me. Of course, they don't frame it with any humanitarian frames at all. They just say, monkeys escaped. Okay, fine. Well, that's a different story. And then the second thing was Adele is crying. Now, this is something that's been going on for days. They keep doing these pieces about Adele crying. And now Adele was crying, and now she's apologizing to her fans and giving them things and for canceling a concert. Okay, whatever. This is the news, okay? Monkeys escaping, Adele crying. Then they go to football, and then they go to, I think, a Broadway again. Broadway show, reopening. And so she's in Poland, and she makes a comment. I wish I could find it. I was trying to find it before the show, but I didn't have time. And she's like, this is the news? Like, she made it seemed to me that there were people standing out of shot of the camera, and she probably saw them rolling their eyes or something. That's what it seemed like to me. And she was like, this is the news? Come on, guys. Like, of course, you should be embarrassed. That's the news that they feed this country. It is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for us, and she, should know. She knows better. Maybe she got somebody putting a mirror up to her, and But
Well, and not only that, like this. Speaking of TikTok, I don't know why I'm on this binge lately, but
what do you mean? I want to start doing stuff for TikTok. Anyway, you got to tell me about it. So go ahead.
There's this kid, right? His name is Axel. I think it's Weber, the last name. He's like this latest trendy kid, because what he did was he posted about his New York, and you're in New York, and he posted about his New York studio apartment where there was no bathroom, and he pays $1,100, and he gave like a guided tour.
Oh, wow.
And he's now, because of it, he's gotten this modeling contract and yada yada yada, and all these great things.
Is he handsome or something, or is that?
He's not bad looking.
He's trying to be a model. No. He's trying. All right.
Well, he was originally trying to get into Juilliard, as the story goes.
Oh, okay.
And he got denied, and he read his letter on TikTok, and he ended up going on, not Kelly Osbourne, who's the other, one of those daytime shows.
Okay.
He ended up going on one of those, and now he's got a modeling contract, and the fun crap that's going around about this, and I don't care either way at this point. But the thing is, they're trying to tear him down because supposedly this Axel kid, they're trying to tear him down because some people believe that he was playing poor.
Oh, okay, and just begging.
And was from a white middle class family in the South. So they feel. So some people feel offended by that.
Okay.
Like they don't feel that he's poor enough, but has gotten the celebrity because of how he framed it. And he just has a good fucking publicist.
Definitely.
And he's somewhat personable. And if you can do it, more power to you.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to be verified on TikTok with 2.1 million views.
Is that what he got?
Talk about savage. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, it's aimless nonsense, and I don't care. And it's just like somebody has to, this is like going back to the Republicans is where I was headed with this. Somebody always has to find something to be negative about and go after, because God forbid somebody gets a one-up in this society.
Well, that's also, I mean, that's just like, yeah, I'm glad for him, and that's good. But the fact is, why should we have to hope we can make a nice TikTok video in order to have a fucking future in this country? You know what I mean? It's just sickening to me.
Yeah.
It's like the it's like the friggin' GoFundMe pages. That makes me sick too. It makes me sick. The corporate media makes me sick, of course, when because and of course they're all profiting off of this broken system, but they frame these stories about GoFundMe. Then somebody goes on GoFundMe and gets money for their chemo or shit like that, and they frame it like it's good news, like it's a good feel-good story about the community, and it should be framed like this is a disgrace. Like I just saw one about a young girl who was paralyzed and she couldn't get prosthetics or something that she needed. It was a wheelchair or a prosthetic. I can't say that word now. All of a sudden, I said it once. Now it won't come out of my mouth. But you know what I mean. And so they did a story about this local group of kids who were in some robotics class, and they made her a very cool wheelchair or something, and that was their project, which is great. But what the fuck? She wouldn't have to go and rely on this class to do something for her, if not for the broken ass system that we're in. They don't have this problem in England. I saw a video recently.
They have a different problem,
Well, they have other problems. Of course, nothing is perfect, but nobody has to go bankrupt. And I mean, I saw a story about a young girl who had an amputated leg. And and it was talking about her. I mean, it wasn't a story about her getting her leg, because she got her leg from the NHS. It wasn't. It wasn't like a fucking GoFundMe page. Oh shit, Tara Jr. He just tried to jump.
Well then,
hold on.
You okay?
He's all right. He's on drugs. He's a little high, I think. Because
I wish I was.
Went to the video. You guys know a couple of days ago, Tara Jr. was acting crazy, and he was here on camera, and he was like getting aggressive. He was like, when I was touching him, and he has an appointment for the allergy vet in March, so. But I took him to the vet earlier just to get an in-between checkup because he was acting nuts. And anyway, they did the thing, they did the workup, and he doesn't have anything serious. It's just his allergies.
Okay.
So that's good. He's probably uncomfortable. This is what they were saying. Because, look, he bit me. He just bit me. But he does this now, this little bastard. But he wants me to pet him. He like bites my hand, and then he'll like take his own hand and move my hand. So, yeah.
My dog Tara, Lizzie, she will, if I stop petting her,
Right.
she will put her nose under my arm and lift it up. She'll be, or she'll just give me, like, she will literally turn her head and stare at me until I start petting her again.
Exactly.
It's like, what did you do to stop? Why?
Right.
Who gave you that permission?
Like, do not stop. Exactly. So, but they put him on some painkillers, and not opiates or anything. They put him on.
Sure.
The same thing I'm on for my fibromyalgia. They put him on Neurontin. That's another story I should tell you. I was debating whether to tell. Well, because I was just diagnosed with this fucking fibromyalgia. And I hope it's nothing else serious, or maybe I do hope it's serious. I don't know. That's my head today.
No,
I'm
we
in a
can't
bad
have
place,
that.
and so
I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm. And so, because I think if I found out I was dying, I would just take whatever money I have and just blow it on a nice trip around the world and just call it a day. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so I have this fibromyalgia shit. And what was I saying? Yes. They gave me Neurontin, and when I took it, and so, like, it helped me. And I was like, oh, wow, I do feel better. It feels, because it's like being in pain all the time. Like, I have achy muscles all the time. It really sucks.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that would drive me insane.
Yeah. And so I took the Neurontin, and then in the morning, for me, it's bad in the morning. And this is what really made me break down and go to the doctor in this asshole country, because I couldn't take it, and I didn't know what was wrong. It was really upsetting me, and I was getting scared too, because every morning I would wake up and be so stiff, and it took minutes to get out of bed. I would just be like, creak, creak. It was like oil can, and but during the day it would kind of get better as I'm moving, and I would still go to the gym and exercise and try to like work it out and just be like, what the fuck is going on? But I went to the doctor. They did the tests. I told them, I think I'm having, I think this is the beginning of Parkinson's. My uncle had it, so whatever. I don't know. They did tests, and they said I have fibromyalgia, because they test for everything, apparently. And if it's not that, it's fibromyalgia, because there's no test specifically for it. Anyway, so... I took the drug. I felt better. But in the morning, I'm still waking up all fucking creaky, like oil can shit. And so I called the doctor. I was like, can you give me something that's maybe a stronger dose of this? If it works, but it seems to wear off overnight. And I wake up in the same boat, really. And then I take the pill and drink my coffee and hate watch Morning Joe. And then I feel better. It's weird. So... they said, oh, we want you to see the specialist first. And now I'm trying to get an appointment with this person. I love the Republicans. Are always like, we have to wait for a doctor in social medicine. We got to wait fucking here. There's no, I don't know these people. They are living in bizarro world. But,
well,
but anyway, wait, let me finish. Wait.
Sure.
I'm just I know I'm taking the long road, but anyway.
It's okay.
Yes. So
all roads are good.
The point is, they were like, we want you to see the doctor, the specialist first before we do anything, up your dose or anything. So I'm trying to get an appointment with this fucking person, which I can't. It's taken forever. They're not even calling me back. I'm like leaving messages. They're like, please leave a message and blah, blah, blah. So I've been taking my cat's medication. Let's put it that way. They're on the same thing. I have a lot of it from over the years, and I've been just like dipping into my cat's medication to like, top off whatever they're giving me. It's the same thing, but it's just pathetic. Taking my fucking cat's medication. You know what I mean? This is America.
Yeah.
This is fucking America. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. That was.
I'm glad you made that point, because we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't. We should be able to actually get an appointment, go to the doctor, and deal with it.
And just the whole thing, yeah. And pay.
Yeah,
you gotta. Well, go ahead. I'm just.
And unfortunately, we're at a spot where we can't. But like I was going to mention, my aunt who passed away from cancer. She was in the NHS, and they did everything possible to make sure she went into remission.
Right.
And she did for a little while. And it came back. But every step of the way, the national health care system, as bad as it is in some cases, came across and both for her full-throated, and there was none of this waiting bullshit. Yeah. You needed an appointment, and we set it up. You know, it was on your schedule. I mean, you shouldn't have to do that, Sarah, with your medication.
Well, nobody gives a shit, too. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm in pain. I'd like to see somebody. I call them. I call the regular doctor. I'm like, they're not answering me. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Well, they don't give a shit. Nobody cares. If I had money, it would be a different story, I'm sure. But I go into fucking clinics and shit, So it's everything is probably backed up the wazoo. And
and that's the tragedy of our system, right? Where we have to deal with this on a regular basis, and then hear from the Republicans how fucking great America is.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
you better dare not say a damn word about it. But God forbid a transgender woman plays a sport.
Oh God!
Oh my God, they're keeling over in their fainting couch.
Exactly.
For Christ's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I need your advice, Tara. What tone should I take with my show?
So
what tone should I take with my show?
Well,
should I be funny? Should I be Mika Brzezinski and tell people that this isn't news?
Well, Thomas, my opinion on that is that you should just be yourself, and whatever that is, that's the secret. It is. So that's why on the show, even when I was doing stand-up, I haven't done it in a while because of the pandemic, but when pretty much I prefer this, frankly, because it's you get more, you reach more people. It's not like going to a club and you're limited anyway, whatever. But I think for me, I don't know what to say about like your show. If you pick but if you pick a tone, but the thing is
except
just
tone deaf. I don't want to be tone deaf.
But what I mean, what are you? What are you? I mean, what is your tone? You got to be yourself. I couldn't get up here and be like, in other news, we I don't know. It's
that's the thing. I know I can't. Like, I've been trying to do a little bit more. Like, I like the fun stories every once in a while, but I get a little shrill. I like to get worked up and get my audience worked up, and I think that provides more participation. Wow, try that one 2 times.
Participation, more participation.
Yeah, amen. But like, I don't want to also in the same breath scare anybody away who might want to have their morning cup of coffee.
Right. Well, you can always be. You don't have to yell or anything. I know I get a little whatever, when I'm in. But I just am who I am. That's the way I do it. I don't even know what to advise. Just advise, I should say. Just be yourself. That's all. And like, for example,
I think that's probably.
You just gotta be whatever you are from day to day. Yeah, sometimes I'm less whatever, angry, and other times I'm being silly. It's just because I'm in that mood. But you gotta be who you are, and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't give that advice to somebody on the breaking on corporate media. Let's say they have to be whatever they are. They have to be whatever that is.
Teleprompted. That's teleprompted.
Yeah, I mean, I always remember one time going to in a comedy show. I was one of the performers, and one guy, and I was I knew this guy, and he's very nice, and he had a good set, and he was just doing his set, right? And there was a woman, a waitress, carrying a whole bunch of drinks for the crowd, and she dropped it. And it was big crash all over the floor. People were like, addressing it and dealing with it. And my friend who was doing his set, he didn't stop, and he just went on with his set and didn't address the reality of what was going on. And it immediately made him look like he was nervous. Do you know what I mean? And it just devolved from there, and the audience like fed off of it. It wasn't a good set. You know what I mean? For me, watching it, I thought it was just like a lesson in general in life and comedy and what we're doing. You just you have to address the realities, and if that means I don't know. That's my opinion. That's what I do on this show, and why I'm like, maybe too open about. But I don't know. As far as your show, what are you trying to accomplish with it? This is kind of like therapy for the resistance. You could do it like that.
And I think that's kind of where I want to go with it. But I also want to be a little bit more willing to. If somebody just wants to call in and shoot the shit, I want to do that because it's the morning. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't necessarily have. I'm not necessarily going in with like this 3-point bullet plan to start your day or something like that. I mean, Christ, I don't even do that for myself.
Right.
So why would I do that for the show? Right. But I also, in the same breath, I want it to be entertaining without coming across like I'm full of myself. Because I wouldn't know the first. I wouldn't know the first thing about Adele.
Yeah, I mean, how could you come across as full of yourself? You're not full of yourself. If you just be yourself, that's gonna come through. Like Shadow Star Ace says on the chat, just do you, Thomas. Just do you.
Fair enough.
It's true.
Fair enough.
Just do you, man.
No, I agree.
You will find the what the show wants to be too. That's the other thing. The more you do it every day, it's going to be different. The first show you do is going to be different from the 100th. It will evolve. It'll change. You'll change. I mean, that's how it goes. Wait, I'm gonna put him on the tree, because
on the tree,
on the cat tree behind us. Hello, honey. Say hello. Look at how out of it he is. I mean, we're on the same drug, but
that is so fucking hilarious.
Hey.
I needed that today. I really did. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little more discombobulated than usual. I'm literally running on about a half hour's worth of sleep. I couldn't not get to sleep last night, and I ended up waking up fully again at like 9 a.m. I was so mad. I just couldn't. Don't you hate when there's just like this something, like your mind just, like with me, I call it the Columbo phase, where it's just like, one more thing. One more thing. I gotta ask one more thing. I gotta do one more thing. I gotta.
Right.
And it's so fucking annoying, but I can't settle it. And the worst part about it was when I finally got to the point where I was about to settle it, my 8:45 a.m. alarm went.
Right. That's what happened.
I always, like, are you fucking kidding me?
When I can't sleep, it gets worse as the time goes on. I'm like, oh, now it's 4 a.m. And then I get stressed. I gotta get up soon. So yeah.
And then you have that debate with yourself. Yes, and then you have that debate with yourself about whether or not you should
just get up,
continue to stay up and forget about it, or try and give yourself a little bit of shut-eye. Right. And I found that if I give myself that little bit of shut-eye, I'm punished for it. Like today, I really just could not get any motivation to move. Right. And I was lagging this whole day because I made the mistake of saying, okay, I'm just going to lay here until I absolutely have to. Well, such a mistake.
I feel bad. I got to thank you for agreeing to come on the show then. You probably fucking bitch, I want to go to sleep.
No, I'm winding down. I took my medication. I'm high as a kite on my happy pills to make me not be a deranged mess.
Oh, good.
In the day, I take them at night, so they work all day.
Right.
And this is the best way I can tell you to wind down on a rough day.
Right.
Because I'm not looking at the computer. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm talking to my good friend Tara Devlin about hopefully a morning show that I can get off the ground very soon.
And I hope so too, because we need all the liberal voices out there we can get. That's for sure. All right.
Yes, amen. Absolutely. And you don't ever quit. Maybe give yourself a break, but don't ever quit.
If I take a break, I'll be done. If I take a break,
I hope not. No,
I mean, I love the show and I love the people. I love everybody. I do, and I look forward to seeing everybody. I know I'd probably be depressed if I quit the show. It's just like I think of everything that's. It's been an uphill battle, and all of the time and money I've put into not just the show, but Republican Dirty Tricks, which was fucking just killed by Facebook one day, and that hurts, and also just the frustration of constantly struggling, asking for page. I think I was delusional. I thought maybe, by this time we'd have a steady amount of patrons and whatnot, and income that I could do the show on a daily basis. And I'm realizing that's not happening. It's not going to happen, probably. So I have to adjust my expectations.
I'll tell you what. If you ever want to do it, and I can help you do it, and we can get the ball rolling. If I'm in a position to, I will definitely help you do the daily show.
No, definitely. I know you. Yeah, of course you would. And it's just the other things. There's people who just don't know behind the scenes what goes on, and I was talking.
You're absolutely right. Just the technical, like the other day when I accidentally muted myself and you thought that the phone was going to die, and I felt so bad because it was my dumbass who muted myself.
Oh, stop! Don't say that. When I hear people calling themselves dumbasses and things like that, it's not good. It's just not good for your soul. That's bad. That's like beating yourself up. It's really. I mean, I used to do it all the time. That's why I pointed out. I'm a dumbass. I don't even do that anymore because that's, it's like spiritual abuse for yourself. And
no, you're right.
Yeah.
To add to that, my mom gave me this while she heard me doing what you're talking about, and I still have the picture. She gave me a picture of myself that was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and she said, "Would you beat him up?"
Right. Exactly.
And she said, "If you're not going to beat him up, why are you going to beat yourself up?"
That's so true.
So
That's very
so
good.
every once in a while, I look at that picture. I have it under my desk, and I have a little special place that I have it, and
That's
it
good.
just reminds me to stay focused
Oops, wrong thing.
because it's you know it's going to get better in the long run for even if it's you know moments like this where I get to spend with you when I'm winding down. It's a moment to be cherished,
Right.
and people need to take stock of that, especially when we're fighting the demons we're fighting with Tucker Carlson and his ratings. For Christ's sake,
I mean, the demons are everywhere. That's the thing, and okay. So sometimes I think this shit. Of course, it sucks, but we're in a very dark time. But it's like the Buddhist principle of the 10 worlds, when one of the worlds is hell. You know, these are worlds that people live in. They're in your mind. You know, hell. There's others: learning, animality, and then like, things that rapture is one of them. When you're first in love, like that's what that is. But these are transient states. And as far as hell, you could be in hell. You know, despair and and I've been there. I have fucking been there. So. But in these principles, they're one of the truths is that when you're in hell, you're closer to enlightenment than any other world. So you and I know this from experience, because the reason I practice Buddhism, I've always been a Buddhist in my heart, but it is to me, of course, common sense. It also is a lot like recovery. It reminds me of recovery. You know, the as far as like the rooms of recovery and whatnot. And so, but because when I was in the grips of my addiction, and I remember having these in the rooms, they call it moment of clarity, where you're like, holy shit, you know, there aren't enough drugs, alcohol, whatever it might be. There aren't enough of stuff in that spiritual sickness to make me feel like I want to live. And that's one of and I had these experiences where I in the grips of hell, and then being enlightened to the truth of the reality of what I was doing, and specifically there, and then from that having the willingness to do what it takes to get clean and stay clean, and so I get that, like, when you're in hell, you're closer to enlightenment than any place else in the 10 worlds, right? And it is true. And now where this country is in hell, and it could get better, but we might be able to turn it around, because I think that people might be sick as I am, of the cruelty and the division and the lies. And the Republicans are not stopping. They're just pouring more of that shit on top of it. Pouring more lies on top of lies, and everything, cruelty on top of cruelty, ignorance on top of ignorance. And I think, I know we're the majority, and I know that people must be sick of this. Even them, even the ones who are doing it, they are sick. It's like, that's another thing, a spiritual axiom. When you hurt somebody, you hurt yourself. Like the people who kept other human beings in chains, they were sick. They were in chains, not literally, of course, and inflicting the suffering on others. Like that is the sign of sickness. So, and you look at these Republicans, the way they are. Are they happy? That's what happy is? Mocking people, owning the libs. I just was on, of course, on Twitter, some fucking asshole, they're talking about Donald Trump Jr., who's released a rambling high video. Did you see that? Where he was definitely fucking high, and he's like, I gotta find it. I hope. Joe Biden. I mean, he was loaded. I mean, we know that he's loaded. The guy is suffering from addiction. I don't know what the fuck, but the thing is, he lacks the courage to get help, because it takes courage to get help, to say I need help. And the fucking Trump crime family, you know that his father wouldn't be supportive, not like Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. And then so these assholes are posting pictures of Hunter Biden in his addiction. Well, where'd you get those photos? I don't know, probably in Hunter Biden's book, but that's because he had the courage to post them, and he got clean, and he shared his experience with other people. So, unlike the traitor tot that you worship for some reason, this vile, slithering idiot, and they lack the courage. So then there they are, with their compassionate conservatism, mocking somebody in the grips of addiction, which is a fucking disease. Would you mock? I don't know. I guess they would. And to myself, I'm thinking, well, you're mocking people on COVID. I'm not mocking the COVID assholes. I'm just pointing out their fucking stupidity. It's a difference. But anyway, I'm not saying good, die. Well, maybe am I saying that? Yeah. No, I'm saying die at home. That's what I'm saying. Just leave us the fuck alone. So
I think you're more saying fix your damn self than anything else.
It's like right. I'm just saying, if you get COVID, like Sarah Palin, I mean, that's another thing. Here in New York, I've been to restaurants in New York. You have to be vaccinated, and now you got to be boosted, vaccinated, boosted. It's not just, you can't just show your one vaccination. You got to show you got the whole fucking shebang. And they ask. I've been to places, they don't let you in. Not me. Yeah. And how Sarah Palin gets in, because different rules for Republicans. That's the way they run the show. So people don't want to deal with their antics. If she was denied entry, I'm sure she'd be like posting a video, freedom, and then there'd be fucking bunch of Trumpanzees out there screaming and yelling, and nobody wants to deal with it. So the restaurant is saying they're apologizing. They'll get to the bottom of it, because I understand they probably didn't want to deal with her shit. And she, they saw this asshole coming. They're like, oh fuck, and they're like, okay, whatever, go in. I don't need to be on Newsmax tonight. You know what I mean? And so. That's what happened, and the bitch got COVID. Good. Fucking go home and suffer with it. But if it gets bad, where she'll go. She'll be begging the people that her antics and and the rest of them have put on the front lines incessantly, without mercy, where these people are burnt out. Other people, they haven't had a fucking day off, and then others can't get a bed because of all the unvaccinated douchebags. And then the other thing, well, I know I'm doing another Tarabuster, but what they're talking about how cruel it is to deny people beds when the unvaccinated get COVID, and to deny them beds. And to me, I don't understand this. I heard this on the corporate media. This is the frame. They're going, oh, it's cruel to dance on the grave. Nobody's dancing on the grave, first of all. But what is the difference between saying, I'm sorry, you go to the back of the list on this list of beds that we have for people who got vaccinated. You didn't get vaccinated, so you're in the back of the list. I had a fucking friend who died, a friend in the rooms who died of hepatitis C because, he didn't get a liver because he was an addict, and he relapsed. So they put him on the back of the list. So what's the difference? You got somebody who's an addict. They do that routinely. It's not just with livers. They do it with other transplant organs. Heart. You smoke. You're waiting for a heart. You waiting for a lung or whatever, and you smoke. You go to the fucking back of the list. This is not me making up the rules. That's the rules. Them's the rules, man. So what's the difference? Is there? But the difference is the fucking whining. And addicts and people who smoke when they're waiting for whatever they might be waiting for, they don't get the same sympathy because they've been vilified, just like Hunter Biden. Yeah, and the grips of his addiction is, look at him. I hope Donald Trump Jr. gets the help he needs, but I'm not going to fucking sponsor him. He needs, it's like Rush Limbaugh. When Rush Limbaugh blew his eardrums out on OxyContin, sending his housekeeper to cop fucking OxyContin behind a dumpster, right? That's in the report, Another coward. He couldn't go out and get his own drugs. He didn't. I thought maybe he was going to, I don't know, have some kind of spiritual awakening. He went to rehab and maybe he'd come out and be a better person, but of course not. He went back to lying and dividing people. It never stops. The division never stops. And he's the same guy that would be like, addicts should be, remember, all the shit he would say. Addicts should be shot, they should be blah, blah, blah. But this is how you know they're sick. They inflict, instead of getting the help they need, they inflict their manias outward. And if somebody's crying about addicts being low or whatever, you better believe they have a problem. Like, they probably have a drug problem. It's like the gay, like they're in the closet assholes screaming, or trans people, right? I wonder, you wonder. Why are you so concerned about somebody else? What they want to live, how they want to live their life, that they're living an authentic life. Why are you so upset about that? Well, if they got the help, they might reveal that they're wasting their lives in the closet or something. They're just fucking plain old cowards. Okay, take it from there. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Did you hear? Are you hearing this?
Yes, I am.
Where is this coming from?
And the nuclear capable China?
I didn't even. Where is this coming? I can't stop it. I don't know where it comes from. Wait, hold on. I gotta find this. This is so. Must be a YouTube that's being. Why is this playing? That sounds like Kai. What's that guy's name? Hold on. This is so ridiculous. Okay, no, you know what it is? I have a zillion screens open, and I must have hit something, and it started to play. But that was good timing. That was Donald Trump Jr. His drunken, high. Well, he's probably high. His coked up rant about Joe Biden, which is so sad. He's like, Joe Biden, he's gonna let one rip. This is fucking political discourse in this country. That's the son of the former president, and these assholes are gonna vote. They want to vote for him. They want to vote. I don't know. They need to really be shoved without delay or apology into history's trash pile, in my opinion. Not appeased, not entreated, not, I don't know, none of this please play nice. These are horrible people, and I don't know. How do you respond to horrible? Do you beg horrible to be nice? Do you model good behavior for the horrible? It doesn't. None of that works. It seems, in my opinion. I don't know, man. It's getting real. Really, It's really fucked up too. I can't, as much as I've been warning about fascism, it's almost like I can't even believe it's here. And that's probably what's also getting to me. Like, I feel like Cassandra, you know Cassandra? Are you there, Thomas?
No, I don't.
From mythology. Cassandra.
I thought at first I thought you said Costanza, so I was thinking Seinfeld.
Well, in mythology, now I can't talk. Now Cassandra, well, she was she was cursed to know the future, but nobody believed her. That was the curse. So she'd be like, "This is gonna happen. Okay. We gotta get out of here," or whatever, and that no one would believe her. That was her curse, to know what was gonna happen without anybody heeding. And
my curse happens to be not. my curse happens to be not knowing what the hell's going on. So there's that.
Yeah, that's not entirely true. You know more than most.
Today I felt like that, though. I will let you know. But before I let you go, I really thank you for the time I got to be on. I have to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd stay longer.
Go.
I want to. Anytime you need me, I'm more than happy to come on. I enjoy it so much, and I hope the audience does too.
Yeah, they do. They love you, Thomas. They love you.
Aww.
And it's great to have you on. It's great to have another voice on here, except me screaming. I know it's hard to get a word in, but I am working on that. It's just that there's so many.
No, it's a process, because when it's your own show, it's still your own show, and you want to control it the way it comes out. And I, as host of several shows myself, I totally get that.
It's more than that. It's more than it's more like me not being able to shut up. No, it's just that there's so many things that want to come out, and they all want to come out at once. It's crazy. So, and it's hard to just limit it. Because I'm like, and then I want to go there, and then I want to get the background. I want to go back in history, and I want to, all connected. And it is connected here. I'm trying to get it out, and then it turns into this. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't have patrons. Many patrons.
No,
that's
not why. Because us poor libs are poor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Why.
We don't have marketing people or. Fucking any people, really. All right. Yeah. I gotta go. Well, you gotta go. That's all what right. I mean. All right.
I gotta go, but I will talk to you soon, my darling.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Tara.
All right. Bye-bye. Thomas Reynolds, everyone, from FYINation. Another liberal radio. Well, I don't know. It's not radio. Podcasting. Original content. We stick together, we win. Absolutely. Wait, hold on. Why can't I see anything? It's very hard driving the show sometimes. All right, Ecamm, come to the front. Hide others. I'm looking for one particular window that I can't see because it's blocked. What the hell? Ecamm, hide others. Okay, I got it. See, that's what you gotta do sometimes. You just gotta hide others. Let me look in the chat room. What's happening? Is there peace on Earth yet? Oh, wait, I should take Thomas's picture down. Let's see. Bum bum bing, bum bum boom. Bam, bam, beam. Let's see what Tara Jr.'s doing. He's looking at us. Look at him. How you doing, honey? Hi, boo-boo. Ray, what are you doing? Get over here. He won't listen. Thank you again, Laura, for your super chat and getting us off to a good start. Thank you. It means a lot. It means more than you know. And thank you, JD, for your super chat. And I'll be sleeping on your couch soon. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat. of course. I mean, it just Jim. He's always putting the cover charge on the table, and I really appreciate that. I hope you get a lot out of the show. I really do. Because you're one of the people that I look forward to seeing on the chat. And I think about when I get ready to, go sit on a cliff in Ireland and stare. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. That's what happens when I look at him. Here he comes. Here comes the king. And thank you, Shadow Star Ace, for your super chat and your very cute emoji. Hiya. And thank you, River, for your super chat. River says never give up. You're right. That's why yesterday I was on DC Report with Brad Bannon. You should watch that if you like this show, because we had a really good conversation. Charlie Cook was on. I should probably play that maybe next time, because I haven't captured it. But Charlie Cook was on in the beginning, the first half, and he was talking about regular mainstream Democratic punditry. And before I continue, thank you, Robyn M, for your super chat. Right on. Never give up, Tara. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, but Charlie Cook was saying his diagnosis about Joe Biden, this whole epidemic in the corporate media about how much his approval rating is in the toilet, when, mind you, that his lowest rating is not even near Trump's highest rating for Trump's entire so-called presidency, despite receiving fewer votes. So it's is that a double standard? Of course it is. Democrats are held to a higher standard, just like they're held to a higher standard in voting. And another thing I heard on the corporate media was they reported, and I brought this up I think on the show, on Brad Bannon's show, that just as an aside, it was like a throwaway, that there were some good news, good signs for Democrats, because their polling in the Congress, so the both sides bullshit, is they're pretty much equal. So look at this fucker. Here he goes again. Stop this. I love you, but come on. Really? 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 I think, he was so good. I think it's the show. I think he gets upset that I'm on the show or something, and he gets agitated like I am. Maybe he's feeding off my energy. But so corporate media was saying that even though the Democrats and the Republicans are equal in one poll, where they polled about Congress, the Democrats have to overcome a 5% disadvantage due to gerrymandering and other redistricting. This is what they said, and threw it in there like that's fucking normal. That is the normal functioning of democracy. As if, it's to be expected that Democrats need to have absolutely more votes, have to have 5%. They have to beat, not only do you have to beat these filthy fascists, you gotta trounce them. You have to get more votes. And we know that the Republicans, not only do they represent less people, and when they were in the majority, the Democrats received more votes from the people. So what the hell? How is that acceptable? How is that normal? Why is the corporate media reporting it like it's some fucking handicap that we should expect? And we should all consider just the normal workings of democracy. That, of course, Democrats need to get millions more votes. Not only 1 million, you got to get 2 million more. Because the last time the Democrats were in the minority in the House, they had a 1 million, they received 1 million more votes in the election. And, of course, the monkeys escaped. Adele is crying. And how about those Bills? I don't even give a shit. I don't even know what was happening with the football. And I'm proud about it. I don't know what the hell. Bills, Bulls, who cares? Some fucking guy who is paid entirely too much money caught a ball, threw a ball. Some guys ran. Who cares? Why don't they put them out there in gladiator suits and just have at it? That's what that is. We get the bread and circus without the bread in this fucked up country. Bread and circus. I gotta stop the cursing too. It's not good for me. I mean, for my YouTube rating. I don't know. I keep hearing this. No cursing. And then they make my videos 18 and over. And and then they demonetize them. And why we have so many Russians in the chat? What the fuck? Did Putin come and say, don't let that Tarabuster have any truth? Don't let any truth come out of that Tarabuster mouth. Make sure that nobody becomes a patron. I don't know, something like that. These are bots, of course, right? They gotta go. Bye, bot. Bye-bye, bot. I said bye, bot. Okay. I know that Haiku had to go and be a good son. Just like he's a good person in general. Good people are good sons. I wish I could go see the big blue marble now. Maybe. You think that Bezos would let me get on there and go, wow, we're all connected. Well, I knew that. I knew that at Zygote. What took you so long? We are connected. That's the problem. Unfortunately, right now, we're connected to a lot of fascist assholes. Really? Hold on. I see the time. Let's do... What do you think? Where is everybody? We've been on the show over 2 hours now. I can't believe how fast it goes. And now Laura's leaving too? Great. Well, thank you, Laura. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. Thank you, Laura. I really appreciate you hanging out. There are a few stories I wanted to do, but they all kind of mixed together. What was I saying? Oh, let's do the Tucker siding with Putin. Because that's really... Isn't that disturbing? To me, it's all connected, of course. Newt Gingrich calling for the jailing of the January 6th committee. Did you see what happened on January 6th? Of course, Newt Gingrich is the waste of human DNA who invented divisiveness. Really. But from all along, the Democrats have been entirely too ready, willing, and eager to partner with these pricks to destroy democracy. It was, I had to tell you guys, Bill Clinton was the first one to put Social Security on the table. And that was supposed to be him and Newt Gingrich, they met in the White House. They had weekly meetings to come up with these, what was it called? Let me see. Clinton and Gingrich. Let me see if this comes up. Yes, the pacts between Clinton and Gingrich. Well, what happened was the day they had this nailed down, but the day they were going to announce it, that's when the Monica Lewinsky story broke, and everything fell by the wayside. So we could really thank Monica Lewinsky for saving Social Security. So here, this is from U.S. News, right? From 2008, the pact between Clinton and Newt Gingrich. On the evening of October 28, 1997, House Speaker Newt Gingrich headed to the White House to meet with President Bill Clinton, ostensibly to hammer out the final details of the 1998 budget. In reality, Gingrich and Clinton were putting the finishing touches on a deal to create a centrist political coalition to fix so-called long-term problems in Social Security and Medicare. There's no long-term problems. Our long-term problems are greed, as they always are. There's enough for everybody's need, not for everyone's greed. Wait, hold on. I have an itch on my nose. Does that mean I'm going to fight? Maybe. Okay. In his new book, The Pact, Bill Clinton knew Gingrich and the rivalry that defined a generation, by Stephen Gillian, resident historian of the History Channel and professor of history at the University of Oklahoma, reveals the behind-the-scenes machinations that led to the meeting and how the potentially historic effort was derailed in an instant by the Monica Lewinsky scandal. While there were dozens of reform plans circulating around Washington, ranging from minor tinkering to radical overhaul, there was a growing consensus around a middle ground of proposals. Oh, was that like bipartisan in the Senate? The bipartisan bullshit? Oh, the other thing about the bipartisan Kristen Sinema bullshit, that the Democrats were tried every which way to get some changes to the filibuster, and of course they were blocked. Like, one was they wanted the talking filibuster back, but of course that was voted down by Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema because they don't want to have to work for their legal bribes. They don't want to have to work for their corruption. There's such traditions of the Senate, but the tradition was you get your fucking ass up there and you talk. You put together a team of racist assholes and then you tag team. But that's too much work. You need that money now. You need the constipation needs to happen now. You're lazy. All those legal bribes made you lazy. So you don't want to have to get up there and defend your points because they're indefensible. They're goddamn indefensible. And you don't want to have to work at it. You like not working. Kristen Sinema, you like being the center of attention with your stupid hair and your bing bong, thumbs down. Wait till history gets a hold of you. But I mean, how come? Okay, this is another tirade against the corporate media. Why doesn't the corporate media frame it like that? You're all about tradition. Well, that's the tradition. That's the tradition. They even made a fucking movie about it called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And I know how the corporate media likes to reference Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Oh, this is not a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington moment. No Mr. Smith Goes to Washington moment here. We keep hearing, well, why are you instantaneously letting the bribe suckers off the hook? The lazy bribe suckers. They don't want to work for the bribes. You get it? That's how you frame it. I haven't heard one single pundit or anybody else frame it like that. They say, oh, well, they wanted to pass, they wanted to compromise with the talking filibuster, and the Joe Manchin shot that down too. Because to the power structure, everybody, they getting their bribes, boob. They like paying no taxes. You got to see, when you look at the tax structure in a graph, it's disgusting. How much the rich pay and how much we pay. The majority pays. But they pay more. So what the Republicans will do is they'll say, Jeff Bezos paid 100 million zillion in taxes. What more do you want? Well, not by percentage. By percentage, we paid more. And he's skating. And in fact, sometimes getting subsidies because he's cooking the books. You know, they always take advantage of everything that society has to offer, that liberals worked, fought, bled, and died for. They take advantage of it. But they want nothing to do with civilization. You get it? It's about greed, not about democracy or a higher principle of e pluribus unum. For all George Washington's failings, unfortunately, that's what he constantly reminded all of the people under him at the time, that they were working for a bigger picture. That's why he put the kibosh to the Nuremberg conspiracy, because he explained to them, we're not fighting for, a year's back pay. That's petty and small. We're fighting for the future of humanity. A higher calling, a higher principle. Of course, taking into account the hypocrisies. But guess what? We're trying to bring the actual higher principles to fruition, and we get the backlash. We get fascism. They can't handle it anymore. It's just boom. No, we can't knock on doors and build coalitions. We got to have autocracy. None of this. But it's the same thing with the filibuster. They're lazy. They lack the stamina. They lack the ability, really. They don't want to. They're fucking lazy. They need to be taught the dignity of work by getting up there and fighting for their fascism. Fight for it. Maybe you'll make your case. But they don't want to do that. It's too much work. Why doesn't the corporate media... You see, if I ran the corporate media for a day, we wouldn't be in this boat. There's so much... I mean, people would be glued to the set. Not just talking about me, but because we would be putting things in context and connecting the dots. And we would be telling people and fighting for that living wage, a middle-class life that makes democracy possible. And we would do it unapologetically. And then, you know what would happen? Those Trumpanzees, those capital scumbags, they would be, just marginalized to history's trash heap where they are comfortable. We don't want the trash heap, so they're bringing the trash heap to us. How many times we got to fight fascism? The answer is always. So, okay, back to Bill Clinton. While there were dozens of reform plans, blah, 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 middle ground proposals, there were also hopeful signs that the public was ready for a serious discussion about Social Security reform. And here's the reform. Raise the cap. Tax the rich. No, Social Security, Medicare, done. Reformed. Our problem, their problem, is when they try to be too cute. They try to keep the broken system intact because people are getting paid. They like it. They need it. They want to throw some bones and keep the broken system chugging along. That's Obamacare right there. That's what they did. Keep the broken system that is the parasite on all our backs. Keep it going. Keep that money flowing. Who cares who dies? Yeah, the people are still on GoFundMe begging on the side of the internet superhighway for insulin. So fucking pathetic and embarrassing. Oh, but that's a good feel good. Okay, on August 1997, survey by Clinton pollster Mark Penn found that 70% of Democratic voters favored some form of privatization, and support was especially strong among younger workers. But you know why? Because of the stupidity of Rush Limbaugh being allowed to spread his venom through the country, saying, yeah, I remember this time. I was young, but I remember how, because my father used to listen to this fucking drivel, this Rush Limbaugh drivel, and I remember them talking about, you will know more what to do with your money than the government, forgetting the whole truth that Social Security is not just a retirement plan, it's a goddamn insurance plan that we all get, just like we should all get health care. We all pay into it. So if something happens, you don't have to go out and sell pencils on the or they'll be the little matchstick girl of Dickens' day. Because we're supposed to have a civilization. You know, we're supposed to have e pluribus unum and shit. And, you know, we don't want to have little matchstick girls. That's not why we fought a revolution. You know, our society works for all. Where's my... Let me say that again. Hold on. You see, that's why I need a producer. Our society works for all.
Some people are just born to be slaves.
Of course. Well, of course. No, I got it. Rush Limbaugh. That's the Republican. That's their platform. Really? What's their platform? Well, some people are just born to die. Oh, well. Born to die instead of born to be alive. Well, we're all going to die, but you want to die before your time? Because some idiot like Sarah Palin don't want to... She's freedom! She wants to drink her big gulp. Fucking... Oh, my God. It's unbearable. It's absolutely unbearable. Sharing the same air, much less the same country, with these horrible, I can't even say people. What are they? Greed. They're just greedy, ignorance, stupidity, walking and talking too loud, really. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up with your freedom. Your stupid freedom. It's not freedom, it's freedom. Dummies. And if you want, go away. Go away. You don't have to play in our reindeer games. Go have your autocrat. Go worship the Mar-a-Lago Mussolini, you morons. Take those Trump Network vitamins. Hang that Trump University degree, you suckers. Just shut up. Alrighty. So, let's see what happened. Well, the story, who cares? The story is, the Democrats, of course, as usual, tried to knock the legs out of not just the New Deal, but the American people, handing more money to Wall Street. This is what we want to do, right? In our fucking in between our 3 uniquely American low-paying jobs. We want to go on. We want to be day traders too. Well, maybe some people want that. Good for you, but I don't really want to sit there learn the market. I downloaded that Robinhood app, and I have pittance in there. And they're like, okay, you could put a put on this. You could put a call. It's like I'm reading it. It sounds like Las Vegas to me. I've been to Vegas, honey. I've been to Atlantic City. That's what it sounds like. If you put your money on red, it might come out. You could it's like a craps table. Put line high low. Play the field. What's the fucking difference? If it goes up, you get this percent. That is craps. So we all have to be in that casino. That's what they wanted. God damn it. It's greed, man. It's constant greed. It never stops. Everything is greed. For them, not for us. We never get a piece of the pie. We get the division. We get the propaganda, the stupidity, the encourage the stupidity is just off the charts. But I mean, before we'll wrap it up, I guess we're losing people, and I'm losing me. I've never been to me. I don't know. I've been to me a couple of times. Whatever. It's not bad. This is Crystal Light. I like it. Sometimes I get on kicks. I drink lemonade for a month, and then I'll drink ginger ale. I like to live. I just like to live on to the extreme. I like to enjoy all the fruits and flavors of life. The lemonade drink flavor and the ginger ale flavor. All right. You know what we will... I mean, this is a whole other topic. That's why I'm reluctant to dive into it. Maybe we'll do it next time. Because I wanted to talk about the don't say gay. But that will bring us into past midnight probably. So maybe we'll return tomorrow. I was thinking of doing a show on Wednesday, but just doing the show tonight was it was really part of my therapy. Only because I was so just so discouraged about the show. And, well, just about the media in general and everything I'm up against. And I do wonder sometimes. I do wonder what's the difference, right? But anyway, am I making a difference? Does it matter? Oh, and the other frustrations in general about being in the liberal media, so-called, and the how nobody helps each other. Well, not nobody. Robyn helps, Mike Malloy, there are a few in there, but others can just, you can just pound sand as far as they're not, to me, they're not really in it. Maybe they are. I don't know. But if the shoe was on the other foot, I would do what I can to help others. Just like the Mercer family helped Breitbart, and you don't have to put me up in a townhouse, but just maybe some plugs. Fucking now and then. Oh yeah. Tom Hartman is the real deal. Just so you know. Anybody, if you have questions, I can tell you offline. You probably know who I'm talking about. But, yeah, I just, we was talking about, I'm barely audible. Oh, no. You know what? I'm talking really to myself. The volume went down. How weird. You know, I had my head over here. Does that sound better? And I wasn't talking into the mic. Yeah, I'm sure that sounds better. It sounds better now. I can hear it better. It's too loud, though. We go from low to high. I just had it was sort of like one of those moments where you turn around and you start talking to yourself. So, have that ever happened to you? Just start talking to yourself. How is it now? You can't hear me? Now you can't hear me still, huh? What the fuck? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Everybody, can you hear me now? I don't know. If you can't hear me, I'm done. I am done, 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 done. It's still quiet? Why? How is this possible? I believe it's still quiet. That's fucked up. Well, we have a problem then, because I'm hearing it loud and clear. And this is now getting on my nerves. Not you guys, but this is what I did for the last 2 days. Trying to fix the fucking audio on the show. And you're telling me it's low again? I hear it fine and nobody can hear it. What the fuck? I believe I can fly. What about that? I believe I can touch the sky. I don't know what anybody know. I don't know the words, but I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. That's what. It doesn't matter what you believe. I believe I can live in a country that doesn't suck. I believe I can do. I cannot. You know, the other thing that annoyed me. You guys, can you hear me? Now we're good. Okay. Here's the other thing that irritates the fuck out of me. Now I see I lost a lot of people that were watching by singing that fucking song. Okay. Because what kind of show is this? It's rambles. It's crazy. What really annoys me is not every, but on the corporate media, notice, if you will, the periodic packages, that's what they're called in TV, you probably know that, about how great America is. Love letter to, there's some guy who has a book now, love letters to America, it's called Go Back to Where You Came From, and other love letters to America. It's all about how he loves America in spite of being incessantly abused because of his darker pigment. And then there's other things about, we always get these assurances from the millionaire mouthpieces of the billionaire corporate media that we are living in the greatest country on earth. That is so tedious to me. It never stops. Oh, we're the greatest country ever. It's mass hysteria. Because if we're the greatest, then there's nothing you can do. Oh, well, you can't fix perfect. It's the greatest. We got the greatest health care, the greatest working people, except when they're lazy and don't want to go die with assholes on the front line of COVID. But, you know, and applaud, but, oh well. don't do anything else like to make their lives, make them want to continue in the profession of healing. And yeah, we just always have to keep on getting the assurances how great everything is here. And trust me, when the future looks back at this, whatever this becomes, because this is not going to last. Okay? At this point, I don't know. Whatever. More will be revealed. It's very hard to have a democracy and have it last. You have a democracy that lasts by actively cultivating it. It doesn't happen by accident. You can't attack the pillars of democracy everywhere and expect to have a democracy. You can't. You just can't. And to me, the only hope I feel, and it's ironic and it's also beautiful, is that it's people with darker pigment. If this country is saved, it's because of them. It's really true. They're the ones working within the system to try to make the country and the world a better place. They are. You see, they go to, remember when one of the restrictive Republican dirty trick voting bills, and they lined up to give community feedback and experience. It was a line out the door and down the block. And not a bear spray or zip tie in the crowd. But, of course, the corporate media won't report this. They'll just check in. They'll check in with the Trump traitors. The people who believe the big lie. How you doing? What do you feel about Joe? Do you think Joe Biden was legally elected? No, I don't. I won't believe it. Because it doesn't matter. The 80 court cases that were dismissed with prejudice, that doesn't matter that they couldn't show a single shred of evidence. I don't believe it because I believe in Trump Network vitamins. I've taken a lot of Trump Network vitamins, and that meant I had to trust Trump enough to pee in a cup and send it to him. Where he personally, he didn't need a microscope to look at my pee to see what vitamins I was in need of, and to specially concoct using all of the scientific skill at his disposal, merely by having an uncle who was a doctor at MIT, supposedly. He had good genes, so it just automatically passed down to the glorious dim Führer. And I had to trust him. And I peed in this cup. He didn't even use a microscope. He licked the pee. That's what they used to do in the olden days. The doctors would be like, they would take your pee. That's what Trump did. He cares. He cares about Trump Network vitamins. He wanted people, he loves America. He wanted the American people who are peeing in a cup with a Trump logo on it to have the best vitamin balance in the whole country. And he's the greatest. And this is what we have to endure. Why are they checking in with traitors who have no grip on reality? The story should be, this is the story. It should non-stop, constant reaffirmation that they are delusional and are a danger to democracy. Not only that, they're the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. That's it. Give me an effing break. They're normalizing them. That's why I feel despondent. But yeah, like I said, If this country is saved, it will be because of people with darker pigment. That's it. Then the Republicans know that. Absolutely. Yeah. Stephanie on the chat. I'm tired of CNN always giving airtime to Trumpansies. It's epidemic. They've done it. They did it before. They did it during, and they keep on doing it. Go away. Go away, traitors. Shut the fuck up, traitors. Excuse me. Really, shut up, traitors. Haven't you done enough? Spreading your delusion, your con man. Why isn't the corporate media going on and on, just harping on Trump's documented history of being a con artist nonstop? Why are they giving him any kind of any accolade or whatever, just elevating him to the president? He's not a president. He's a so-called president who received fewer votes and committed a goddamn and organized and tried to carry out a sedition against this country. He's worse than Jefferson Davis, because Jefferson Davis knew when to shut the F up and go home. Why isn't he in the goddamn dock? You know why? Because there was no consequences for the traitors in the 1860s, so why should there be consequences now? They always seem to get away with it. Ugh. We have an obligation to hold them accountable. Yeah, well, that's if you want a democracy. You don't see this shit happening in New Zealand, do you? Because they don't have it. They don't have the Rupert Murdoch media, as Jacinda Ardern said. That's what she said. How could you be so unified here? You don't have any assholes throwing shakes at people and calling them immigrants as if it's a slur. Yeah, where'd you come from, honey? That's what I mean. It's like they don't need a wall. They need a mirror, these morons. And they're an embarrassment to my pigment. God. If only I was born 20 years later. I will know how this shit ends, and I could celebrate the country becoming a minority, so-called minority majority nation. And that's what can't happen too soon, damn it. Anyway. I'm not talking into the mic, I know. All right, let's call it a night so I can go lay down with my fibromyalgia and my cats, who aren't even behind me anymore. Oh, there he is. Oh, I looked at him. He's coming over. Shit. Pretend he's not. Okay. All right, guys, you're the best. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you again, Laura and JD and Jim and Shadowstar Ace and River and Robin, for your super chats. Uh-oh. I told you. Here he comes. Come on, honey. I know you're drunk. Come in. It's weird. I guess it's the muscle relaxers. Makes them, wobbly. That doesn't bother me. Probably because I'm a lot heavier. Since we're on the same drugs. All right, my friends. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shadowstar Ace. If you want to hang out, we do have a Discord page. I am reachable through there. If you want to send me a message or whatever. And we will win. How? How will we win, Tara? How will we win?
and strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain.
I hear a sound of victory.
I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I
hear a sound of victory.
I hear a sound
of Trumpansies
lying
and yelling and shitting in the Capitol.
Of an abundance of rain.
I hear
a sound of victory.
All right. It is done. The Lord said it is done. All right. I want to know who, I got to fix this mic. Who took a dump in the Capitol? Dun, 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 dun. That's when, yeah, these Republicans are celebrating these bastards. Who? I want to celebrate the one who took a dump. I'm sure they will. They have Steve Bannon will have him on their show, on his show, the Trader Show. When you spit in the face of Congress, you get to go and have your podcast. I don't know if that would be a privilege extended to me. I doubt it. The Lord said it is done. Okay, I need to go and lay down with my fibromyalgia and my night terrors. And maybe tomorrow, maybe someday, maybe tomorrow, maybe someday. You've changed your place in this world. You've changed your place in this world. We will win. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how my fibromyalgia feels, and the mic, and the cat. But we have more to talk about. We have more work to do. We're on the right side of history. We know that for sure. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Thank you so much, guys. We stick together. We win. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Oh, relax, honey. Relax.